Ha, everyone. Welcome to the Commanding Caws Sports Show. My name is Dan,
I'm Chris.
and today we're going to go talk about the NFC Beast, and we are going to go game by game, team by team to determine the outcome of this division for the 2023 NFL season. But first, here's a video. Just wanted to point out we're both wearing band shirts. Thought that was really funny. I'm wearing a Tool shirt. You're wearing Nirvana.
Got Nirvana on. Got the tank top on.
Oh yeah, it's tank top season.
There you
I've been doing yard work, so I've been wearing black shirts, not to get my white shirts all all dirty, but
go. That's fair. So we actually, funny story about doing yard work. We actually tie-dyed shirts this weekend, and they're going to be my yard shirts now.
nice. For some reason, because we were working on some outdoor stuff, we had to make like 5 trips to Lowe's, and every time we went to Lowe's and did yard stuff, I was wearing a white shirt, so I like, no, I need to change this so I don't get dirt on it.
Nah,
But
I've definitely done that before.
hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend. This will be out a couple weeks after Memorial Day, but man, I was really tired because we had a long weekend. I went and saw Blink 182 on Saturday. That was awesome. We went and saw the Little Mermaid movie. I liked it a lot. Just going to leave it at that. And on Memorial Day, we actually did yard work. So I was good and tired.
Sounds like it, man. That was a busy weekend.
Yeah, what about
Uh,
you?
I didn't do anything but go visit family on Memorial Day. That's about it.
That works. That works. Well, going straight into it here, we're going to talk about the Commanders, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants. We're going to go game by game. We're going to pick a definitive winner, even if it means flipping a coin. So we're just kind of going to go straight into it. We're not worrying about the preseason, but any thoughts on the preseason that you wanted to mention about the Commanders? Because we're going to start with the home team.
Their preseason's really good.
I
It's
mean,
really good competitors for them to face off to see how they're doing in the beginning. They got the Browns, the Ravens, and the Bengals. So AFC North is a tough division, and I think it's iron sharpens iron. So I think that's going to show how good the Commanders' defense is, to be honest.
I agree. I think this is going to be Chase Young's year to show that he was worth the second overall pick. I could see the Commanders beating the Browns here. The Bengals, I can see is going to be an L, but we're here to talk about the whole season, which we did put out a Commanders season preview, and we decided we were going to go by the whole division. So this may be different from our original predictions.
Stuff's
Just fair
changed
warning.
since then. So yeah, you don't really know until we get into it, to be honest with you. But start with that first game. How do you think that's going to go?
I'm thinking it's going to be a W because it's at home. And usually the first week of the regular season for the past couple of years, I'm not sure about 21, but I know 22, we beat the Jags the first week, and then we beat the Eagles first week in 2020. I don't remember what 21 was about, but usually the first week's a good week for us. The Cardinals don't have Kyler Murray. They have a new coach. They have a new GM. They're honestly a number one pick contention. I mean, you could argue they're pretty much the same in terms of their ceiling and their floor. You could make the argument, but I think the Commanders are the better team here. What about you?
Absolutely. I think Commanders have a better defense. Cardinals do have a good defense, but I think it's Buda Baker once off the team. If they get him out off the team, that defense is going to get even worse.
Oh, and at
Uh,
the time of recording this, D Hop was released. He didn't even get traded.
yeah. So take that, Cardinals. Do you think there's any chance that D Hop makes an appearance to the NFC Beast division?
To be honest, if any team, it's probably going to be Philly. That's just my guess. Okay, now next week it's an away game in Denver, altitude. What do you think?
I think both these teams kind of match up pretty well against each other. You don't really know what the offenses are going to bring yet, and they have great defenses. So I personally think Commanders by 3.
It could be a close game. Do you think Russell Wilson is going to regress or progress this season?
Russell Wilson's going to get better. I think last year was kind of getting used to the team. So, but I still think the Commanders walk away with the W here.
I think it's gonna be very close, but I'll give you that. I'll meet you with the W there. So looking at 2-0 right now. The Bills don't really need to get too much into this. I mean, last time the Commanders played the Bills, I think it was in Buffalo, and they lost by a lot, just to put it nicely.
I was about to say, do you think they'll get stomped, or do you think they'll actually have some good defensive stands against Josh Allen?
I'm gonna say this is gonna be an L for the Commanders. Pretty safe bet, I think.
Then you got Commanders in Philly. What do you think about that?
I'm pretty sure we split even with the Eagles last year. I know we did. Year before that, I believe we did. I think we swept them in 2020. We swept the Cowboys in 2020. We'll come back to later. But point being, I'm going to give this one to the Eagles because it's in Philly. They're the reigning Super Bowl runner-up. But I think we split with them again this year. But we'll come back to that.
I 100% agree with you on that. I think the Eagles are a good squad. We'll have to see once we get to the at Washington how I think they're going to win against them, or if I think the Commanders are going to win against them. But I think the Eagles are a good squad, so I think they definitely take the W in this first one in Philly.
Now, I will point out that they beat us at home last year. We beat them at home. We stopped their winning
Oh
streak. So I'm just being fair to home field advantage right now.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
What are your thoughts on Chicago in the Commanders' territory?
I actually don't think the Bears are going to be too terrible of a squad this year. With that being said, I actually do think they're going to lose to the Commanders, though. Basically, it comes down to the Commanders have a better defense than the Bears.
I
Bears
agree.
got rid of Roquan Smith. They got rid of the defensive tackle, who is a rotational guy, I do believe. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. They got rid of somebody else. Khalil Mack, 2 years
Yeah,
ago, they got rid
he
of.
was in San
Yeah.
Diego now, I think. And he might even got moved out of there, but
I definitely think the Commanders are going to get after Justin Fields. Will DJ Moore make an impact? I think so, but I think Scary Terry will make a bigger one.
I said in the game against the Cardinals, you can compare these teams. They're more similar than not. I feel like there's more similarity between the Bears and the Commanders personally. We beat them by a score because Justin Fields marched down the field, but it was like a fourth and whatever, and our defense stopped him. So we got lucky. But yeah, if you're saying this is a W, I believe you.
I do think this next game is going to be a revenge game for Taylor Heineke, though.
It could. I mean, I don't think there's bad blood, but it really comes down to which of the offenses is better. And I think we're better. I believe the last time we played them, we won. So I'm going to give it to the Commanders here. I'm not just saying as a fan, but also, again, I think they're pretty evenly matched. What do you think about this?
So with this game, I actually think Falcons, right? Yeah, are going to be a little bit tougher of a squad this year to go against, mainly because of that running back they got. Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the running
Bijan
back they
Robinson?
draft. Yep, Bijan. Because they got Bijan, it's going to be tough going against them. I think Pitts has a better season this year, and if I'm correct, Drake London as well is on
Yep.
their squad, and they got a good team. I don't think Drake London's as good as Scary Terry personally. It's mainly going to be about the quarterback play, and I do think the Commanders have a better defense. So I think that being said, I think I'm going to agree with you on this, and I say Commanders get the W.
Now, the Giants, again, I got to be fair here and kind of give the even spread because they tied with us the first time last year and then they beat us the next time. So, I mean, this is in New York. We'll give them the W here. Give the Commanders an L.
Yep, I got you.
Kind of going back to the Eagles, let's give us the W here against the Eagles because we've split even with them pretty much for the last at least 3 or 4 years.
I think the Eagles are gonna. This is just me personally. I think the Eagles are gonna sweep this year, just because I do think they are a good squad. But
That's
I don't
fair.
think it's gonna be as bad as people think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be close games.
Let's be honest, the Eagles are the better team. Just I'm basing this off of what has happened before. Who knows? And I also want to point out, usually about this point in the season, like the first week is usually pretty good, but usually weeks 2 through 6 are usually not that great for the Commanders.
Okay.
But here's hoping. Maybe they gave us. I feel like this is a little bit of an easier schedule at first, aside from the Bills and the Eagles.
With what you're saying, I actually do agree. This is a pretty good front loaded, non front loaded schedule where you guys are kind of going against kind of not cupcake teams, but teams that definitely aren't playoff bound, at least unless there's some upsets. The Bills and Eagles are probably the two playoff contenders that you'll go against. And by being 4-2 going into week 7 and 8, I mean, that's pretty good. And then you split those two. So what, 5-3? That's not bad. It's not a bad way to start off the season.
Okay, well here's hoping. What do you think about the Patriots? I mean, I think the quarterback. I
I
think
think the
Sam Howell's
Eagles,
better than mac and cheese, but
mac and cheese. I think this is an easy W for the Commanders. And it's gonna be two. It'll be two well coached teams going against each other. If the Patriots win, it's because of Bill Belichick.
I agree. This is going to be a very tough game. I think this is probably the hardest one for me so far to give a definitive answer to.
You want to do a coin flip on it?
We can. What do you think?
I personally think Washington's going to get the W on it, but
Okay, if one of us feels passionately about it, that's enough for me.
okay.
If we're both on the fence, we'll flip the coin. But
I don't think we need to
now,
flip it for this next game.
apparently, we're Seahawks fans because
Yeah, that was pretty great. What
yeah,
what episode was that?
it was our like season predictions based off the draft, which we got to point out. Yeah, that was us believing that obviously someone had thought that we think the Seahawks are better than the Jags and the Bengals. We had them as Super Bowl contenders based on the fact they're in the NFC.
Yes, we think the NFC's cupcake teams.
Yes. So
I do
obviously,
appreciate the comment though, and you stopping
oh
by
yeah,
and leaving some
definitely.
remarks, man.
We're
I
not
think he's Jaguars fan or something like that.
we're not salty at all. I just thought it was funny. He thinks we're Seahawks fans.
Yeah, definitely a Ravens fan. Wrong bird team.
Yep. Commanders too. Commanding
Yeah,
call. But yeah.
commanding call.
So
Uh, but yeah, that was pretty funny.
I just think right now the Seahawks are a better team. And it could be that the Commanders win this, but I feel pretty confident that the Seahawks would win this.
Don't the Commanders usually play the Seahawks pretty well?
Honestly, I don't remember.
I don't know what's making me think that, but maybe I'm thinking of 2012. I think they played really well against them then. I think the Commanders in Seattle, I think they fall short.
Yep. And obviously this is the middle of the season. Geno Smith could either be really progressing because he's got good weapons. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and let's not waste some time here, but we're gonna go with the Giants losing to the Commanders here because it's a home game. I think out of all the teams in the NFC East that you could compare, I think right now the Commanders and the Giants are probably like the closest in terms of talent and ability. Personally, I think Sam Howell's a better quarterback, but that's just me. Now our good old Rudy Tooty, and that's only 4 days in between. You see that?
I do.
Oh, that's on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's why I put a nice green check mark for myself personally next to this game. I think the Commanders are going to upset the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day.
Gobble gobble. I'm cool with that. Man,
I
I
think they split
remember
the series still, but I think they upset them on Thanksgiving.
I remember it was 2020. Yeah, Thanksgiving. Obviously, they were playing Andy Dalton. Dak Prescott's a better quarterback, but I was very happy when we beat them very handily. Now, as for next week, I believe this team is going to beat the Commanders very handily.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit more tough opponent there. I think here's where the schedule starts getting a little bit more tough for the Commanders. You got
We're
a
really going to
Jets
get tested
team, a
here.
Rams squad, and a 49er squad. And honestly, you could coin flip any of those games.
Oh, I'm saying the Dolphins are going to get the W against us.
Oh, absolutely. No, I agree with that 100%.
The Rams, that is a coin flip. If you want to flip, we can.
I think we flip for that one. I think we flip for 49ers as well. Oh, wait, this
Let's
is late season 49ers, though.
let's come back to that. But the
Yeah.
Rams, I feel pretty confident. Heads, Commanders win. L, they lose. Okay, they win.
Commanders beat the Rams. I'm cool with that.
Again, they got the ring. Now the Jets, they're my biggest question mark team personally of the season because of Aaron Rodgers. They got Nathaniel Hackett as their OC. Robert Sala is a defensive coach. Mix him with Aaron Rodgers, who wants a lot of control of the offense. I don't know. They're my biggest question mark. I compared them to Denver from last year. Everyone thought they were going to do really well with Russell Wilson in a new situation. I don't know. What do you think? I'm feeling pretty coin flippy on this one.
I'm cool with coin flip on this.
Okay. Heads, they win. Tails, they lose.
Heads for Commanders. Tails for, there we go.
Well, Commanders lose this one, which also between the Dolphins and the Rams, they have a bye week. So I think that is going to give them time to rest up and beat the Rams. All right. So 49ers, if I'm being honest, they're the team that I'm looking to regress this year, primarily because of the quarterback situation. I feel like their team is just getting older, but
This is late season, though. And that's one thing I will mention is that by now they'll have one of their quarterbacks back. That's the only thing that would make me consider picking the 49ers on this one.
right now it's like 49-51 in favor of San Francisco. But if you want to flip a coin, we can.
I
But if
think
you
we
feel
flip a coin
strongly,
for that.
okay. Heads, Commanders win. Tails, they lose. Okay, they lose. Now you said that the Cowboys are going to we're going to split with them.
That's what I think personally. Cowboys, you know what? Let's talk about that because I think the Cowboys are going to be one of those teams that regresses this year. I actually don't think they're going to be that good.
That's interesting because I
If
know like
Commanders were to actually beat a squad and sweep them, I could see it being Dallas.
that's interesting because I know when we've talked about Dallas in the past, you've had really high remarks to say about them. And to be honest, even though they are a division rival, they're one of my least favorite teams. I do acknowledge that they have talent.
They do have talent. For some reason, it's just I know they made some changes. They got rid of Zeke. Pollard's injured.
I was
How are
just
they
about to
gonna
say he's injured again, isn't he?
how are they gonna do with all these changes to that offense? I think they're gonna be trying to play catch up later in the season. So I mean that could be beneficial for them.
Kellen Moore's gone too.
Yeah, and I actually think he wasn't too terrible at play calling. That's just me personally. There's a reason was it not the 49ers, the Chargers picked him up immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah, they picked him up fast. So
I'm cool with sweeping the Cowboys. I ain't gonna
you
complain
know
about
what?
that.
Let's sweep the Cowboys. And just so everyone's aware, I am not a Washington fan. I just
You're a
relate to
supporter
them. I support
because I'm a
Washington
fan.
fans. 10-7.
Okay. I think that's pretty fair. Maybe a couple games get flipped. Maybe the Eagles sweep us. We're 9-8, but I don't see us being any lower than a 6-11 team personally.
I don't see them being lower than 8-9.
Okay, cool. Well, speaking of Philly, let's go ahead and switch over to Philly now. Preseason, not really any comments from me on that. What about you?
They're going against pretty good squads. So I think it's gonna help them out when it comes to
Dusting off
dusting
the
off the
gears.
cobwebs.
Yeah.
But they could be in a Super Bowl slump as well.
Well, week one against the Patriots, I think that's going to be a pretty easy W for the Eagles.
Absolutely agree with that statement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, they have 4 days in between them and playing the Vikings. The Vikings were good last year. They weren't great. I don't know. What do you think about this? That to me, at first, I was like, oh, this will be an easy W for the Eagles. And then,
I think it'll be a harder W. I do agree with that, but I think they still walk away with a W. From what I've heard from training camp, like and seen, I think someone was taking video footage of Baker Mayfield and whoever Kyle Trask missing their throws in practice. So that's upsetting. I feel bad for those guys. I actually
yeah,
like Baker in them,
I think the Eagles are going to beat Baker in the Bucks.
but
So
yeah, I 100% agree with that statement.
bad news, Bucks. Sorry. Then we had our October 1st game. I think we had the Eagles beating the Commanders, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Here's the thing: I can see them being 6-0 at this point
You know,
because
you're not wrong.
the Rams, that's a big question mark, but I don't think they're going to be like up to their Super Bowl year. They might not be as bad as last year, but so far the Eagles, I think, not to be a cynic, but I think they have a pretty easy schedule so far to this point.
Yeah, I even think going to next week, going against the Jets, kind of. I mean, the Jets are another team that, like you said it earlier, they could be bad because there's no team chemistry there yet. I still think Philly walks away with it.
Yep, that's fair. Dolphins, I think, are going to give them their biggest challenge yet.
Yeah, and
Which,
I think the Dolphins will beat them.
yeah, I think we had the Dolphins as a Super Bowl contender when we did our prediction for the season. So yeah, we'll give the Dolphins the W here. Then we had the Commanders winning, so 2 L's in a row there.
Yep, and I think they have a comeback game against Dallas.
That's cool with me. If you made me choose which one I like more, I'm going Philly there. That's something positive to say. Oh, we got a Super Bowl rematch.
I think it's going to end the same way it began
I agree with you. They do have a bye week though here. I'm noticing.
between the Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, so I could see the Eagles really prepping for this.
You swung me. I actually agree with you on that.
I don't think it's going to have a lot of implications for like the overall season, but I think the Eagles are going to be out for blood.
I agree, and I think they lose against the Bills. You know what? Wait, they're playing in Chiefs Kingdom.
Yes,
I think that might make the difference there.
that's fair. That actually was going to be my next point about the Bills is they're playing in Philly, and the Bills I think are going to regress next year as well. So if you wanted to go give them the
I
L
think we're
against
on
the
the same.
Chiefs and
Yep,
the W against the Bills, I'm cool with that.
we are on the same wavelength there.
What about San Francisco?
I think the 49ers aren't as good as the Eagles.
That's cool. Give them a W.
The
Now,
Eagles could honestly be undefeated at this point.
they could, if I'm being fair. The Cowboys, I could see them beating the Cowboys again. I could see
In
them
prime time, I
in
definitely think the
Dallas.
Eagles are the better team. Cowboys and Eagles usually do tie for the season, correct?
They usually, yeah, last season they split because they both played. Each team that won, the other team was doing a backup quarterback. So
That's right.
take that
I
with
think
what you
the
will.
I think the Eagles are better.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. All right, this next one is going to be a fun game to watch, I think.
Bird Bowl.
In Seattle.
I know I'm a Seahawks fan and everything, but I still think the Eagles are the better squad here.
I think right here, yes. I think currently Eagles win this because the Seahawks, to be fair, have a lot of question marks about them. I want the Seahawks to win. I think they can win, but right now I could see the Eagles doing this.
Based off what we saw from last season. I got to be honest with you. These next, I mean, the Eagles' schedule doesn't look too terrible. Besides
The
a
Chiefs
couple
and the Bills.
Dolphins, yeah, Dolphins, Bills, and the Chiefs.
I don't think they're going to go undefeated.
I don't either.
They might hold out the longest, but they're not going undefeated.
I think they end on a positive note for the season though, and they beat the Giants in Philadelphia.
Yes. Sorry,
That's
are we
on
saying
Christmas, isn't it?
yes? Are we saying they sweep the NFC Beast?
I'm saying they sweep the NFC East. Oh nope, they don't because Commanders beat them
That's
once.
right. That's right. And that's me being optimistic.
They honestly could sweep the NFC Beast though.
I could see them potentially splitting with the Cowboys, but
Yeah.
for the sake of argument, I'll just say they end the season with 3 W's. I
No,
don't.
I 100% agree with that. I think they're gonna sweep the Giants, and I don't think the Cardinals are gonna do too good against them either.
They got Kyler
So
Murray back at this point potentially,
potentially, if they're not tanking.
and if the Eagles locked up a playoff spot, they might be doing backups.
You know what? That is true, but I still think they're better than the Cardinals.
I agree, even with backups. So to the person who unfriended me because I didn't want Philly to win the Super Bowl, know that I'm not a hater. I'm just a fan of a divisional rival. I have to.
It's part of it. We have them being better than the Ravens, so we have them finishing the season 14-3.
What was their record last year? Was it 16 and was it 14-3? I'm actually gonna look that up here real quick. Hold on. Last year, yeah, it was 14-3.
Yeah, so we have them finishing the same
Okay.
record here. That's wild.
Okay. Gotta be fair. Okay, so let's move on to Dallas now.
All right.
So, okay, preseason, I think the Jags are gonna beat them. I think the Seahawks are gonna beat them, but I don't know about the Raiders. Probably. Who knows?
Raiders got a lot of question marks on them.
All right, Cowboys, Giants.
Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. Okay. It's in New York. It's a primetime game, but I could see it being Cowboys here. Jets, that's something I feel like we could flip a coin for just because I don't know. It's the beginning of the season. It could either be, oh, hey, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are doing really great at this point, and then they regress, or vice versa. What do you think?
I agree with that. I think we flip a coin for this one.
Okay. So heads, Dallas wins, tails, they lose. Cool.
All
But
right.
they're going to rebound easily next week.
Yep, I 100% agree with that.
Cardinals are going to be in number one draft pick contention. Here comes my nightmare Super Bowl scenario, if that ever happens.
I think the Dallas Cowboys are better than the Patriots.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
I think they have the better offense, and they have I mean, the defense for Dallas is what's going to break a lot of these teams down.
Random
So I,
question.
yeah,
Does Zeke have a new team yet?
no, he does not. At least I don't think so. If I was to make a team equivalent of each other, it would actually be the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you know how I said the Patriots Cowboys is my nightmare Super Bowl? The next
Yeah,
week, the Cowboys are playing their nightmare. They've lost to them twice in a row now in the divisional round.
you just swayed me to pick Dallas.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I did say San Francisco would regress.
I think this one could be a coin flip. No, yeah, you know what? I think this is Dallas.
Okay, that's fair. See, even though I am not a Cowboys fan at all, I'm the exact opposite of a Cowboys fan. I'm still being fair. Now, the Chargers, that's an interesting one. It's a prime time.
Could be a revenge game.
What do you
I
think?
think the AFC is better than the NFC, and I
Let's
think the
give
Chargers and the Cowboys are. I think the Cowboys have a better wide receiver core. I think Chargers have the better quarterback. It's about equal though.
we could flip a coin or we could
I
I
think we
think
flip a coin.
I'm cool with giving it to LA though, but all
Either
right.
a coin flip or LA.
I'm gonna say okay, so heads Dallas wins, tails they lose. Well, they beat LA.
So they go against the Rams next, 1 p.m. in Dallas after the bye week. I think the Cowboys walk it easy and get this win.
What did we say for the November 5th game in Philly? I think Philly wins this.
Philly wins that.
Okay. Now, do you think that the Cowboys are going to sweep the Giants? I personally don't think so, but
I kind of think they're going to sweep the Giants. 2-4 in division makes a lot more sense than 1-5 to me for Dallas because I don't think they're
well,
1-5 in the division.
do you think they're the better team? Do you think it's just the schedule? What?
Defense scheduling. I mainly think it's because they're playing in Dallas, 425 game. That's kind of really about it with me, is because I really think Dallas is a better team on that.
Okay. Now the Panthers, I think they're going to improve this season. I think the Cowboys, I mean, obviously, right now we're having them winning a lot more, but I think that they are going to regress. I think they are going to regress. What do you think about this one? Because I could see the Cowboys winning right now based off of this.
100%. I think the Panthers lose that game against Dallas.
Okay, and we had the Commanders sweeping the Cowboys, right?
That is correct.
All right. What about this one? Seahawks.
This one I think is a coin flip.
Okay, they're in Dallas, but
They have a lot of primetime games also.
well, they always do. All right, heads they win, tails they lose. They lose
Oh,
against the Seahawks.
cool. It's your computer's a Seahawks fan.
Everyone's a Seahawks fan.
Yep. Oh man, they might get 4 losses in a row with this one because we have the
Oh,
Eagles beating them.
yep. And then
Then they go against. Oh wait,
I think the Bills could beat them.
I think the Bills do beat them.
I think the Dolphins also beat them.
I think
Let's
you're
give them
right.
let's give them 3 L's here.
Well, it's actually going to be 5 in a row.
The Lions, you know what? Let's give Detroit some love. What do you think?
Dallas fans are not going to be happy because I think the line. It's prime time though
In Dallas.
in Dallas. I think Dallas beats them.
Okay, that's fair.
I could see this being a very good game though.
But we had the Commanders sweeping them. So what are we looking at now for the Cowboys overall?
Cowboys 8-9.
Okay. Which last year they were 12-5.
So that would be a lot of regression on that.
Yep, I think it's fair. But let's move on to our last team. We're gonna go to the Giants. Preseason, they're playing the Lions and the Panthers, some kitty teams and the Jets. Okay, so week 1, we had the Cowboys winning against the Giants, right?
That is correct.
I think the NFC Beast is going to make Arizona's life
Miserable.
yes.
You're
I was trying to think of the PG way to say it. Thank you.
welcome.
49ers, depending on what their quarterback situation is, this could be a coin flip, but I right now feel pretty comfortable with the 49ers winning.
I agree with that. I think the 49ers are the better squad.
Okay.
This is early season though. 49. Yeah, their defense is better.
Okay.
I was going to try to play devil's advocate there, I think is the word that I'm looking
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
But I think the 49ers are just the better team there.
Seahawks, I think, could beat the Giants because we're Seahawks fans, right?
Yep. I do think the Seahawks are better than the Giants, though. Did they play each other in the playoffs?
No, I don't think that. No, because the Giants beat the Vikings, but
That's what I'm
the
thinking of.
Seahawks lost against the 49ers. Okay.
Dolphins have a harder schedule this year. I mean, not the Dolphins, the Giants do.
They do. I think we give them 2 L's right there. Dolphins and Bills.
Yeah. Giants scheduling is looking rough this year.
Where's their bye week? It looks like, and we'll come up to it here soon, but what do we have them against the Commanders in New York?
This is a win for them in New York.
Okay. The Jets. So this will be, I guess it's their home game. I guess they flip it either way because they're both playing in the home stadium because they share MetLife, but
I think because it's at home for the Giants, they win.
okay, let's give them some love. The Raiders are a big question mark. What do you
Actually, can we
think?
flip a coin for the Giants Jets game?
Yes. Heads they win, tails they lose. The Giants. They lose against the Jets.
All right.
Yeah, Raiders. What are we looking at?
Raiders are a team. See, I don't buy into the Giants being that good this year. I think a lot of people are going to figure them out with how good they were last year.
If
I
Jimmy
don't think
G,
yeah.
if he passes his physical, which doesn't look very good at this point,
Think he's back by this point if he doesn't pass his physical?
they're going to release him if he doesn't.
Oh, I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
I think because it's question marks in the quarterback position right now, I think we give it to the Giants on this.
That's cool. Now, do we had the Cowboys sweeping the Giants, right?
Yep, that is correct.
Cool. What do we have the Commanders doing against the Giants?
Commanders beat the Giants here.
Okay. Ooh, Patriots. That's a rematch of Super Bowl, 42 and 46? Yeah. I don't know. I think these teams are probably more similar than any of the teams currently that we've talked to them about. I'll give the Giants the win here.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. Offenses, people are question marks at quarterback, even though they signed Danny Dimes to it. I think the Giants definitely beat the Patriots here.
Now, the Packers are another big question mark team. Is Jordan Love going to work? Is he not? But I think the Giants could win this one.
I think they could as well. This is also right after the bye week, if I'm correct.
You're right.
Yep.
Yep.
So this should be a good game. I think the Giants win this one as well.
I think we give them 3 W's in a row. I think the Saints aren't going to be that great this year.
No, I 100% agree with that. I don't think the Saints are going to be that great this year. They have Carr, right?
Yes.
So Carr is a good quarterback.
I would argue
Michael Thomas, good wide receiver, but is he going to make that big of a difference?
I argue that Michael Thomas, if he's healthy, he's better than any of the New York wide receivers. I think Derek Carr is better than Daniel Jones. However, just the cards are telling me the Giants.
Giants have a better defense too, if I had to be honest. They're
Yep.
probably the weaker defense out of the NFC Beast, but I still say they have a top 15 defense.
Okay.
Probably top 10.
We'll give them a W there. I think we had the are they losing to the Eagles both
They get
times?
swept by the Eagles, yep.
All right, so LA against New York. I could give this one to New York, to be honest with you. It's gonna
I
be a real big question mark, but
I 100% agree with that.
okay. So what are we looking at for the Giants now?
Giants fans look away. 6-11.
Okay, so here we go. Looks like we have the Eagles on top, followed by the Commanders, followed by the Giants, excuse me, followed by the Cowboys, followed by the Giants. I'd be happy with that if the Commanders end up going to the playoffs, but 10-7 sounds about right.
10-7 is definitely a playoff team in the NFC. The Eagles scheduling. Someone said it was supposed to look tough this year. I don't think it looks that hard of a schedule for them at all.
Yeah, I remember the Tom Grossi thing. He was joking. Well, oh wait, now we have a hard schedule. So what now? I'm like, it's not that we have them losing to the Dolphins, us, and the Chiefs, and even the Bills they could possibly lose to. So we're being generous there.
Yeah, which would drop down to 13-4, which is the same thing as the Ravens record that we have down. And I think that's a pretty good record.
So, and let's look at some trends here. Yeah, they're all playing each other the last week. I think it's the only time they ever like every team in the division plays against another team in the division.
I think you're right on that.
Uh,
And they don't all win it the same week.
yes, like there's no week where they all win a game. No, I think this is a pretty solid ranking. Obviously, as the season progresses, we're gonna update this. We're gonna do a weekly prediction video, weekly review, but I think this is pretty safe right now, as of late May 23.
Yeah.
Any lasting comments there, Chris?
I think there's gonna be a downgrade with the NFC Beast this year. They won't look as beastly as they have, mainly because the competition they're gonna be facing is gonna be a little bit tougher for some of the teams. AFC East is not to be messed with, personally speaking. I think the Eagles are the only team in the division that are actually able to combat that. So that's why we're saying that it's not that tough of a schedule for them personally, but the other teams, that's kind of what's making their scores go down. I just think the Commanders are going to handle business against their own. That's why they're in there.
I agree. I think this is a pretty solid bet. I think NFC Beast will still be a beast, but maybe the best division in football. I don't know. Could the Eagles make it to another Super Bowl? As a division rival fan, I hope not, but I could see it. But we're Seahawks fans, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah, that'll wrap up this video. I appreciate every single one of you guys who does comment. Doesn't
Hmm.
matter what you say, we appreciate it. The Jaguars fan, you're awesome for commenting that and making my day with it. But yeah, any of you guys that want to comment anything, feel free to do so. We'll put it in a video just like this. Yeah, that's really about it. Like, subscribe.
Well, Chris, before we end this, let me ask you, what division are we going to be doing next time?
AFC West.
Man, them Chiefs, we're going to be seeing a lot of green, I think.
I think we are going to they're going to be seeing a lot of red, but we're going to be seeing a lot of green.
So catch us on the next one. Drop a like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Go Seahawks, apparently. But commanding cause. Let's go.
See you guys.